Presonus Eris E5 still stands as one of the best budget options when it comes to intermediate level studio monitors, and it's a wonderful choice to anyone looking to invest in a home studio. If you have been looking for a pair of studio monitors to dip your feet into music production or just hi-fi audio in general, there are many wonderful choices based on your budget, and one of the best choices out there is today's topic, the Presonus Eris E5. This specific studio speaker is standing at a crossing line when it comes to audio gear, as the price is just below certain more expensive consumer-grade electronic, but when compared to professional gear, the price is really hard to beat. When it came to making this speaker, it seemed like Presonus had a very clear goal in mind, making a monitor that reproduces sound in a very honest and clear way that makes mixing a pleasure. Eris E5 is the entry-level studio monitor from Presonus, standing in between Eris E4.5, a media reference monitor, and its bigger brother Eris E5 XT, which is a more expensive next step after the E5s. Currently, you can find a pair of these monitors for around €215 from certified third-party distributors. What makes the studio monitor so special is the accurate and flat response you get. As your production can only be as good as the worst piece of your equipment, it's comforting to know that you can trust your monitors to deliver an accurate sound response that lets you pinpoint the intricacies of your mix. Eris E5 has a 5.25-inch woofer and 1-inch silk dome tweeter. The frequency range is a decent 53 Hz to 22 kHz, with a rather impressive peak pressure limit of 102 decibels, which allows it to compete with some higher-end equipment while still staying at an affordable price. The highs and mids are very clear and crisp, while the lower end suffers just a tad bit based on the smaller woofer, but that doesn't take away from the generally honest and amazing response you get. Taking a look at the back of the monitor, we can go over some options you get. The Eris E5 supports a single balanced XLR and quarter-inch TRS and an unbalanced RCA input. Just above these you can see a few knobs for the acoustic tuning. You get a leeway of ±6 decibels for the highs and mids, and you can set the low cutoff to 100 Hz, 80 Hz, and flat, while also adjusting the acoustic space by -4 and -2 decibels. And if you're worried about the safety of your equipment, Presonus provides with a list of safeguards to keep your gear running and functioning at peak condition, including but not limited to over temperature, output current limiting, and external mains fuse. And if you want a better sense of the size of these monitors, here are the detailed physical specifications. But what is it actually like to use these monitors for your day-to-day studio needs? Well, from my personal experience, I found that it took me a few days to get used to the flat and natural response, as up to that point I was more used to consumer-grade audio equipment. But once I got the hang of these monitors, production became just that more enjoyable. Even though these speakers might look compact, they produce a lot of sound, and I never had any issues pinpointing any intricacies in my mix. You can hear every detail crisp and clear, and that made working with textures just that more enjoyable. When before I had to struggle a bit to make the mix sound good both in someone's bedroom and on the radio, now I can invest all my energy in the studio as the monitors produce a very good bass response. But let's talk about the competition. Another popular choice for a home studio are the KRK Rocket 5s, and at the time of the Eris 5 release, the Generation 3 model of the Rocket 5s were its main competition. So in comparison, where the Rocket 5s had a more bass-oriented response, the Eris E5 had a more all-around sound. Not to mention the Eris E5 being quite cheaper, as the price of the Rocket 5s were closer to the Eris E5 XT. This alone made the Presonus Eris E5s a very viable option. So what's the final verdict? Well, I honestly believe that the Presonus Eris E5 is a wonderful budget option for anyone who wants to invest in a home studio, as its functionality allows for an accurate mix that most people should be satisfied with, especially at the entry level. As audio equipment can get quite pricey, it's a wonderful way to dip your feet into some more higher gear equipment while still staying at an affordable price. But if you have more money to spend and would like to know what else is out there, look at the bigger brother of the E5s, the E5 XT, and maybe even the E8 XT.